try to present the accomplishment to the camera, then looks around the snow for something to load aboard the plane. The other man is Herbert Hollick Kenyon. He is wearing trousers, boots, a check woolen shirt, and aviator sunglasses, which hide his eyes. His solid build and receding hairline make him look older than his 38 years. He ignores the camera as he suits up, deftly clamping the stem of a lighted pipe in his teeth, then transferring it to his hand. The dexterity is impressive and performed without a hint of self-consciousness. Near the plane, the flags of the institutions with which Ellsworth is an association are held on bamboo poles, a horizontal strut ensuring each is clearly visible in the still air. The camera pans across the flags of the National Geographic Society, Yale University, the New York Athletic Club, the Hill School, Pottstown, Pennsylvania, and, towering over them all, the flag of the United States of America with 48 stars. In 1935, Alaska and Hawaii are not yet states. Ellsworth smiles proudly at the camera again and, on the soundless film, goes through the carefully choreographed motion of pointing to each flag in turn. The film jumps to the same scene a few minutes later. The flags have been packed away. Hollick Kenyon is sitting casually on the snow, his pipe still in his mouth, strapping gaiters over his boots. He, too, is now wearing a fur parka. Ellsworth is pacing anxiously in front of the plane. In his right hand he carries a leather cartridge belt, devoid of bullets. The wealthy Ellsworth, who owns, among other things, mansions in New York and Chicago, a villa in Italy, a castle in Switzerland, and great works of art, considers this old cartridge belt his most precious possession. It is the good luck charm he will carry on the flight he hopes will write his name in the history books. The belt would have no value and no meaning, were it not for the fact it was once owned by Ellsworth's hero, the Western lawman Wyatt Earp. The belt has made a long journey from one frontier to another. The film jumps again, and bit players have walk-on roles in the performance. A mechanic checks the engine, more for the camera than mechanical necessity. Everything has already been checked and rechecked. Another man steps on the low wing and wipes the cockpit windscreen with a cloth. And it goes on until Hollick Kenyon and Ellsworth are ready to climb aboard. Hollick Kenyon climbs in first, sliding the canopy to the rear and maneuvering his bulky frame into the narrow cockpit. He reaches up and pulls the canopy forward over his head so Ellsworth can climb into the seat behind him. Settled, Ellsworth grins at the camera and, reacting to some unheard direction, leans awkwardly forward, thrusting his head partway out of the cockpit so his face is not in shadow. A man closes the side hatches on the fuselage before walking out of the frame. The streamlined silver metal plane is beautiful, even by modern standards. The large block letters along the side are clearly visible. Ellsworth Trans-Antarctic Flight. Next, the shot is wider, and the single propeller plane spins invisibly while snow is blasted rearward. The plane moves forward on wide flat wooden skis, gathering speed. It passes the camera, which is not panning, and the port wing appears to come dangerously close to the lens. The plane moves away as it taxis and gathers speed. Finally, the plane accelerates across the snowfield, lifts off, circles once over the cheering men still on the ground, and flies out of the picture. The local time is 0800 Greenwich Mean Time, GMT. The date is November 23, 1935. The location is Dundee Island, near the tip of the Antarctic Peninsula. The wealthy and eccentric American explorer, Lincoln Ellsworth, after years of setbacks, misfortunes, and ridicule, is finally on his way to attempt the first crossing of the last unexplored continent on Earth. The camera stops filming, but the activity continues. The man who has been operating the camera, the Australian explorer Sir Hubert Wilkins, organizes the crew to return equipment to the expedition ship, moored at the edge of the ice a few miles away. Men haul crates, tools, and empty fuel drums down the slope from the makeshift runway to the ship, which Ellsworth has named Wyatt Earp. Already aboard the Wyatt Earp, the radio operator, Walter Lance, is listening intently for messages from Ellsworth and Hollick Kenyon. Lance writes each message on his pad with a pencil, and crew members relay the information to others working around the ship. At first, the messages from the flyers are received clearly. They report the plane is flying slower than expected, but everything else is going according to plan. At 10:46 GMT.